Krakow is a city full of defensive and royal architecture monuments, as well as places associated with artists, famous Poles, and Jewish culture. Find out what to see in Krakow. The oldest legend says that Krakow was founded by King Krak, who defeated the dragon living in a cave under the Wawel hill. Later, the death of the dragon was attributed to the shoemaker Dradivka, but this version of the legend appeared only in the 16th century. The first traces of settlement in the area of today's Krakow come from the Paleolithic. The location of the place encouraged it. Close to the water, as Krakow is situated on the Vistula River, ease of obtaining raw materials, food, and shelter, including numerous caves. From the early Middle Ages, there are 2 mounds left, the purpose of which is unknown to this day. Perhaps they were places of worship or burial. They were called the mounds of Krak and Wanda. The first written records of Krakow appeared in the second half of the 10th century by the famous Jewish merchant and traveler Ibrahim ibn Jakub, who described Krakow as a rich city and an important place of trade. Some say that Krakow was previously written about in the Pannonian legend dating back to the 9th century. There is information about the prince on the Vistula. According to some scientists, it is about the ruler of Krakow and not about Wislica as is commonly believed. In the 11th century, Kazimierz, the first restorer, moved the capital from Gniezno to Krakow. Since then, the city has been developing very well. Trade and crafts flourished, newcomers from all over Europe settled here. Education also developed, and the culmination point was the establishment of the first Polish university in 1364. Art and architecture had excellent conditions for development. The development slowed down when Sigismund III Vasa moved the capital to Warsaw in 1596. At the beginning of the 17th century, the city was plunged by the Black Pox epidemic and the Swedish invasion. Then the partitions of Poland came and Krakow found itself in the Austrian partition. The policy of the Habsburgs, which gave a lot of autonomy to their subordinate territories, meant that Krakow began to regain its splendor slowly. Excellent colleges attracted students. Eminent artists created here. Krakow survived the 2 great wars without major damage. After World War II, attempts were made to limit the city's role as an important center of arts and science. However, it did not work, and today these 2 areas are driving the development of Krakow. You don't have to take notes. We have included all the practical info in the description below the video. That's where you can also find links with accommodation tickets to attractions and tips on how to pay abroad so as not to overpay on currency conversions. You can easily reach Krakow by car, train, and bus, or even by plane. You can travel around the city by tram or bus, but you can reach most of the most interesting places on foot. They are located quite close to each other, and walking along the charming streets of Old Krakow allows to feel the unique atmosphere of this city best. Remember that Krakow is a frequent tourist destination, so better book your tickets in advance to the most popular places, that is the Wawel Royal Castle, the Underground Market Square exhibition, or to the Schindler's Factory. Start your tour of Krakow from the Barbican, also known as rondel meaning saucepan. Today, this valuable monument of defensive architecture stands alone, but it used to be part of the city's defense system. The Barbican is now the site of many exhibitions and cultural events. It was connected with the Florian Gate, which was part of the powerful defensive walls. Most of the walls were demolished in the 19th century, and a park, Popular Planny, was arranged in their place. Only the Florian Gate and small fragments of the walls next to it have been preserved. They allow you to imagine what a fortified city Krakow was in the times of the Piasts and the Jagiellonians. The walls today serve as a great gallery of paintings exhibited by Krakow artists. The gate is the beginning of Florianska Street and the so-called Royal Route, which will take you to the Market Square. While admiring Renaissance and Baroque tenement houses, pay special attention to Jan Matejko House and the Pharmacy Museum. Market Square is the heart of Krakow. There are always plenty of tourists who admire this wonderful square. Numerous cafes and restaurants, shops, and famous Krakow florists make the Market Square vibrant with life. In the Market Square, you will straight away see the Gothic shape of St. Mary's Basilica crowned with 2 towers. Inside, there is a unique main altar made by Wittstuch and polychromes painted by Jan Matejko. Go up Heinalika, which is the higher one of the towers with a great panorama of the city. This is from where St. Mary's bugle call is played every hour. Another important monument is the Cloth Hall. In the past, cloth was traded here, and today you can buy souvenirs related to Krakow here, which is often high-class handicraft. There is also a museum in the building where you can see paintings by Polish 19th century painters, led by Matejko and Helmonski. Take a look at the underground too. This museum, which opened not that long ago, is located in the basement of the Market Square. You will take a real-time travel here and see what Krakow looked like in the past. Take a walk along the streets of the old town, if only you have time. You will see, among others, the buildings of the Jagiellonian University, the first Polish university. From the Market Square, walking along Grodzka or Kananicza Street, you will reach the Wawel Hill on which the royal castle is located. These streets are part of the so-called Royal Route, starting at the Florian Gate. This route was followed by kings on the occasion of the most important ceremonies, such as coronations. It is also the last path of the rulers who were buried in the Wawel necropolis. On the way, you will pass historic churches of St. Andrew, Saints Peter and Paul, and some monasteries. In the church of the Franciscan monastery, you will see unique polychromes and stained glass windows by Stanisław Wyspiański. The limestone hill on which the royal castle rises makes a huge impression, yet its history is equally impressive. People already lived here tens of thousands of years ago. In the 8th century, the seat of the Vistulans was established on the hill. Then the castle became the seat of Polish rulers. Today, it is a must-see of every trip to Krakow. The royal castle impresses with its magnificent Renaissance cloisters. Also visit private and representative royal chambers, crown treasury, and armory. If you want to see the former Wawel, visit the Lost Wawel exhibition. Wawel Cathedral is also located on the hill. It is not only the temple of the rulers, but also their necropolis. In the basement, you will also see the graves of outstanding Poles, including Pilsudski, Mickiewicz, and Slowacki. On the tower, you can touch the heart of the famous Sigismund bell, which apparently allows to make a dream come true. Also, pay attention to the castle fortifications. It was, of course, a defensive structure, difficult to conquer. You can finish your visit to the castle hill by going down to the Dragon's Den. It is a cave, part of which is open to tourists. You will also see a dragon standing right next to the exit of the cave, which breathes fire every 10 minutes. You can rest here for a while watching the Vistula River. The Vistula Boulevard will take you to Krakow Kazimierz district, which was founded by Kazimierz the Great. It used to be a separate town to which the Jews moved in the 15th century after being expelled from Krakow. Today, it is a very popular tourist place. In Kazimierz, you will find many monuments of Jewish architecture, including synagogues. There are also Jewish cemeteries preserved. You will also find numerous cafes and restaurants there. Some of them still cultivate Jewish culinary traditions. Also, check out the Skalka Sanctuary. It is here, according to some legends, that Boleslav the Bold was supposed to kill Stanislav Shchepnovsky, a bishop and later saint. In the Baroque interiors of the church, there is also the Crypt of Merit, where among others Jan Dlugosz, Stanislav, and many other great Poles are buried. From Krakow's Kazimierz, you can go to Podgórze. This district is located on the other side of the Vistula River. It was here that the Cracow ghetto was located during the Second World War. Its traces are still visible. You can also visit the Schindler's factory. It is the fate of the Jewish workers of this factory that is presented in the film Schindler's List. In Podgórze, you can see the Krak's Mound, which is probably a place of worship or burial, dating back to 7th or 8th century. From Podgórze, it is quite close to Zakrzewek, a charming green corner of Krakow. There are famous Twardowski rocks and a lake with an amazing watercolor that is a remnant of a limestone mine. Krakow has, however, a lot more to offer. There are various excellent museums and exhibitions here. These include the Archaeological Museum, the Manka Museum of Japanese Art and Technology, with an exhibition dedicated to the great director Andrew Veda, or the Princess Czartoryski Museum, where you will see the famous lady with an ermine by Leonardo da Vinci. If you have time, visit Yama Mahalika, the most popular Polish art cafe, or go to a concert at the iconic Piwnica Pod, Baranami. You can visit Krakow on the route of churches and monasteries. There are a lot of them here, and most of them are extremely valuable monuments. Krakow is also a city of many saints. You can look for their traces. Krakow was once a fortress city. Numerous monuments of military architecture have survived to this day. Visiting them is quite difficult because many buildings are in bad condition, but you can still see 34 forts, barracks, hospitals, or even aircraft hangars. Also visit Blonia and the nearby Jordan Park. That is a playground for children founded by a Krakow doctor and social activist Henry Jordan. Today it is a frequently visited green area. Another Krakow mound, the Kościuszko Mound, from which you will see a wonderful panorama of the city, is not far away from here. If you're already planning your trip, you can find accommodation and tickets to attractions on the spot in the links under the video description. You can also order a card for cheap payments abroad the same way. Press the bell and subscribe to our channel if you want to receive notifications about new episodes. Have a nice trip.